Yo, what is going on, guys? It's Hatchets here, and today we have huge news regarding Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Specifically, we're going to dive into a Kino Toten remake and the reincarnation of Richtofen. So Richtofen is projected to return to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies, and we are going to be explaining why in the second half of this video. So if you guys happen to enjoy the video, please remember to possibly leave a like and subscribe. Helps me out on a whole nother level. So we're going to kick this off with the Kino Toten intel that we have, and basically we have a conversation between Mare and Weaver, and honestly guys, we don't know who this person is. It's an unidentified contact, but they're mentioning Berlin multiple times. So if you guys remember Valentina from the end of the Firebase Z cutscene, she's there right before Dr. Strauss gets his eye poked out, and she's basically playing up Omega Group with the Nazi zombies, and she intends on opening a dark ether rift within Berlin. So that's what this intel is telling us, and you guys can read through it. I'll have it playing on the screen, but for the sake of time, we're not going to go over every single thing, but we do know that Valentina is some sort of Nazi mole, and she's pretending to work for Omega Group, but she's really working for the Nazis that are basically abandoned within the dark ether. So we also have intel explaining the whole Nazi thing, how they're pretty much within the dark ether. Nazi Germany, the Third Reich, and Hitler all wanted to preserve their elite soldiers, so they sent them off to the dark ether where they could be zombified, and we also have intel for that as well. So Kurtz and Dr. Vogel were both involved within these experiments, sending off the Reich soldiers, and basically the intel is titled EXO Element Number 1. It says we have finally isolated an unknown element in the man who were transformed by the cyclotron accident. Even at this early stage, it is clearly a remarkable substance, and it keeps going on. And then the important part of this intel, it says, even at this late point in the war, I may have found the key to saving the Reich. And he's working for the Nazi soldiers, trying to preserve them pretty much. And the whole cyclotron thing was just an experiment by Vogel to see if he could basically send off the Nazi zombies. This is depicted within the Die Maschine storyline as well as the intro cutscene. Super interesting. I mean, this is great zombies lore. The whole storyline is seemingly progressing at a fast pace. Now, I also wanted to mention how this ties in with the next Call of Duty title. So Call of Duty 2021 is rumored to be a World War II alternate reality, kind of like a situation where Hitler didn't lose the war and he wasn't losing it at all in the first place. So this kind of all ties in because we see that Omega Group and basically the traitors and infiltrators within that are preserving the Nazis, Hitler included. I don't know if we will possibly see a zombified Hitler or a boss fight with him, because that would be pretty cool, but basically all of the Nazis were sent to the dark ether, and that's what's going to be covered within the next Call of Duty World War II. I don't know how credible that's going to be, guys, this alternate universe of World War II with an alternate ending, but that's what multiple leakers are saying. I mean, the Gaming Revolution, who is quite the zombies leaker, I guess he's a news reporter, also says this, so it could be true. But we also have a Dr. Vogel entry, which is another piece of intel, and basically it's just describing how they're finding out a method as to how to keep these Nazis alive when they're dead. So it's just detailing the entire zombification process, and it's pretty interesting there. So once again, I will put that up on the screen so you can read that, but we're not going to cover it within depth. I'm pretty excited to see what they're going to do with World War II. I mean, it's probably going to be some crazy twist off in Berlin where Valentina intends to open up this dark ether rift. We could possibly be seeing a mashup of Omega Group versus the Nazis. I don't know, guys, but maybe they'll reuse assets from the Berlin mission within Cold War campaign, and I do think that they're going to be using Kino Toten as well, because if we reference one of my past videos, I've been on this, guys, we can see that the screen within the loading menu shows Kino Toten. It also shows the Berlin TV tower, which is basically outside of the map of Kino Toten, so maybe we'll see some sort of setting with the main stage within it, but it's really interesting, guys. But the next topic that I wanted to move on to is the possibility of Eddie returning, and we do have intel that suggests this from Maxis, so it's her diary. I got this from the Gaming Revolution, so I will link him down in the description below. But basically what it says is, sometimes I find it hard to sleep even though I look forward to it. When I dream, I see faces of people I care about and faces of people that don't care for me. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish between the one face that stands out from all others, the face of a child child, a boy. He is lost, damaged. I want to help him, but somehow I feel he is dangerous. Blah, 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 blah. She keeps going on. And basically, guys, I do think this is Mr. Richtofen because Mr. Houston, Craig Houston, who is the lead developer of Treyarch Zombies, said this. At the end of the BO4 storyline, we had two clear characters that needed to be referenced going forward, and that was Maxis and Edward Richtofen, the younger versions of both. Keyword, the younger versions. So she's seeing a young boy within her dreams that is 100% Eddie within the Dark Ether, and I know what you guys are thinking right now. Mr. Richtofen died within the Tagged or Toten cutscene and Blood of the Dead as well, along with all of them because Nikolai killed them off, but that doesn't mean that there's not an alternate reincarnation of his younger self. So Samantha Maxis is not the same Samantha Maxis from the original Ether storyline. This is kind of like an alternate Dark Ether reality where she grew up from her child state. So Richtofen very well could be reincarnated just as the character Eddie, and he's also referenced within Nuketown 84 intel from Onslaught. So Eddie is 100% alive. He's not Richtofen anymore though. It's some sort of weird alternate ending where he somehow managed to still be alive within the Dark Ether, and Craig Houston confirmed that by saying that the younger versions of themselves are now present. Samantha came back within Firebase C and we got to see her. Richtofen may be making a return in later seasons. He also followed this up by saying, I think that it's really important that the previous incarnations, which we call the Ether story, which involve Richtofen and all those characters that came to a definite end at the Black Ops 4 season, and we were passionate about not rewriting his story, says Craig Houston, the writer at Treyarch. One of the things I said was that those characters did what they did to create a singular world where zombies didn't exist, and unfortunately, because of the experiments of World War II, they were only half right. There's no longer a time-traveling multi-dimensional story. This is grounded in Cold War. We know that the Ultimus, Primus, and Victus pretty much all tried to create a world where there were no zombies, and we saw this within Revelation. I mean, Dr. Monty was describing the whole Agarthan War and all that type of stuff, and how there would be no zombies within his ideal world after he defeats the Shadow Man, and this is quite the difference from what actually occurred. So this is setting the scene for the whole World War II alternate Call of Duty title. And this is really interesting, guys, because it's all tying together, meshing together really well. I'm excited to see this Eddie character within Cold War, this alternate version of Richtofen growing up within the Dark Ether. This could possibly be the guy that we saw within the Dima Sheena intro that walked away from Samantha Maxis that nobody knew who it was. But all these alternate endings could be quite confusing. I hope I did a good job of it. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please remember to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.